All right, well, today is January the 13th, 2022. And right now at 10:30 p.m., we have a temperature of 57 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 41%. We have a dew point of 34 degrees, and the barometer is sitting at 30.06 inches. All right, so yesterday and today, we should have had a lot of rain here in Southern California. And as we can see from this long wave infrared map, we have a tropical flow pattern moving right into pretty much the entire state of California. We've got a low pressure system. We can see that right here. All this moisture is being sucked up towards that low. And there's just really no rain to speak of. No rain yesterday and just a few tiny sprinkles today that lasted maybe a minute. And that occurred maybe twice during the day. It rained earlier in the afternoon, and then it rained for maybe, when I say rain, I'm just saying very, very light sprinkles, that lasted maybe a minute. So we didn't really get any kind of rain, even though the Doppler map here, this is the current live Doppler map image. We can see some rain offshore here, far past the Channel Islands. Here's San Clemente Island. That's about 70 miles out, San Clemente Island, and we have Catalina. So there's a smattering of rain out here, but all day long we've been watching the Doppler, and earlier today we saw rain over the light rain over Malibu, and all the way extending all the way into Sun Valley and Burbank. And then we have currently we've got some rain over the Palm Springs area, La Quinta, and out over the San Bernardino area here inland. And it looks like there's some snow over Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead, and some rain out here over the desert areas just north of the Salton Sea. But all in all, this flow pattern here should be dumping 2-3 inches of rain to the entire area. Let's go ahead and look at the water vapor map. We can see this much better. Maybe speed this up just a bit. So we've got low pressure right here, and we see all this moisture streaming right in, and there's just really no rain at all. Once again, if you look at the Doppler map and zoom out, we can see that California is the people up in Northern California and Central California are going to they're being sprayed by these specially equipped jets, and that's why there's no precipitation happening anywhere up there, because they're being sprayed. And we don't know what they're putting in that spraying, in that mix, besides those chemical desiccants, that ash mixture, the aluminum nanoparticulate mixture. There could be other things in that mix that are making us sick. It's pretty amazing how everybody in the country becomes sick fairly quickly these days. And if you're spraying this crap overhead in all the different states, we can get the whole populace sick within just a few days, actually, if you think about it. So once again, looking at the water vapor map, we see we've got several storms here lined up. We've got right here, we see 1, 2, 3. This one here is surrounded by high pressure. We can see that. This is all high pressure, this dark area, and the weather controllers are separating these. And this one here is going to move down across the country and then back up right up the East Coast. And there's going to be a second one right here. We can see the huge right angle imprint right around that vortex. And there's another low pressure right here, which is this is a developing storm. But both of these are going to move over this high pressure ridge that's been installed. It's been sitting here for quite a while, and the spigot is off. Of course, this should have brought rain, as I said. For the last 2 days, we should have had 2-3 inches of rain from all this. This is the same pattern as yesterday, and we all saw the skies here in Southern California. I didn't bother to make a video because don't need to. We all know what's happening. Once again, there's that Doppler map. Let's go ahead and blow it up so we can see everything. And just a tiny amount of rain down here in the eastern Southern California area. As we move around, we can see a lot of rain up in the North and South Dakota area. And over on the East Coast, we have some rain offshore of North Carolina. Now, over this next couple of days, these storms that are moving in are going to drop down and move right up the East Coast, and they may mix with some of this tropical moisture down here, in which case we'll see some stormy weather. And of course, the full moon is on the 17th. And the second one of these two low pressures is the one that's scheduled to be a powerhouse storm, which I think is the one behind this one here. This is going to be the first one that comes down and right up the East Coast. So today's the 13th, and we're looking at the 17th for a strong storm to move right up the East Coast on the full moon, and it could be cause some flooding problems, I suppose, if everything works out the way things tend to work out on full moons, and when the weather is under the control of sociopaths. So we'll keep an eye on that. But notice this low here is completely surrounded by high pressure. No condensation around that vortex except right in the very center. This is really astonishing. Look at this. All this moisture. See, high pressure, higher pressure flows to low pressure. This is a low pressure, counterclockwise spinning vortex. And look at this. That is really something. They don't show any of this on the news, and none of these meteorologists on YouTube talk about this stuff. They just ignore it. This is not normal. I mean, we've got dry air around this vortex. Let's look at look at here. Right here. This is the water vapor map. This is the same system we were just looking at over the continental U.S. There it is again. Out here over the North Pacific, we see a huge right angle. Each one of these sides is over 1,000 miles. What happens when the satellite transmitters, they heat the area around that vortex, and what that does is it separates the frontal system, which would normally roll right into the low pressure center right there. We can see that this activity here prevents all that moisture from wrapping in and intensifying inside that low pressure vortex. So they can basically throttle or regulate the pressure inside that vortex. And this kind of activity here causes those purple occluded fronts that we see on the surface map right here. Let's take a look at this right now. We have, of course, we've got high pressure installed right here. When the spigot is off, we've got high pressure there, and we have low pressure down here trying to move into Southern California, and that isn't working out because the skies are just completely hazed over. But looking at these little low pressures here, we've got a developing storm right here with an occluded front. We have this gale force system here with this huge purple occluded front. This is the one showing with the right angle on it. Let's go back and look at it again right up here. There's one angle, and then we've got another one right here. These are satellite microwave transmitters that are most likely polar orbiting. They move from they could be moving from the South Pole to the North Pole or vice versa, but they've got them. There's probably several of these, and they orbit at different points over the Earth, and the Earth, of course, is spinning, and so these polar orbiting satellites can hit any target because there's several of them, so they always got a good shot at targeting any one of these low pressures or setting up high pressure to steer weather. Okay, and it's pretty obvious. We never used to see right angle imprints on the satellite weather reports we'd see on television. You see, back in the 70s and the 80s, when they started showing satellite weather forecasts, like I say, we never saw any of this kind of activity. And of course, nowadays, the reason that we don't see satellite weather on the news is because this sort of thing would, people would start asking a lot of questions. And Wall Street is involved. I've mentioned that many times. We have Wall Street is involved in the weather gambling business. And so we've got people manipulating the weather for profit, for gain. Okay, that's what's happening here. So this will be the first one that'll come down and move right up the East Coast, and then we have another one out here. This one here, according to the models, is going to be a stronger one. It's probably this guy right here. This will move up and over and down and right up the East Coast just in time for the full moon. And looking here, this is the East Pacific 500 millibar map. And we can see the jet stream right here. We've got high pressure, and that's blocking a lot of what's happening, what should be happening here in Southern California. We've got jets have been up. Spraying, we had basically whiteout conditions this morning and yesterday. So this is the 500 millibar map. We see all these low pressures out here. Got one right here over the U.S. going to be dropping down. Here's the 300 millibar map and the jet stream right here. You see low pressure right here and a ridge right there. So we've got the low trying to move in. This is the one that's being sprayed over, this tropical flow that's moving in. Let's look at it once again here. It's right here. California's right up here. So we were gypped out of about probably 3 to 4 inches of rain in the last 2 days. So this is why we have drought conditions, and we have a mainstream media that's lying and telling us that carbon dioxide is causing this. That's just absolute bullshit. And people need to wake up and just start seeing things for what they really are. We're being lied to on everything. And look at this. This is the water vapor map. This should be dumping all kinds of rain right over California, Nevada, Arizona. Let's look at that Doppler map. Once again, there's just no real saturating rain falling. This stuff here is this is light rain. A lot of it's not even measurable. See a little bit in Arizona here. Flagstaff's at 7,000 feet, and none of this is having any effect. There's you see a little bit of snow up here in northeastern Arizona. Okay, so that's about it for tonight, and we'll just leave it right here. That's it.